Yes, I'm live. How are we, folks? Welcome to the Choc and Roll Show. This is episode 4. Episode 4. Things are really moving. And as you can see, we're trying out new things with this whole tech thing. I've got James here with me, rocking the cameras. And I'm here in the studio, Choc Studios in High Lane in Stockport, which is on Chocolate Street. And as you guessed it, I'm a chocolatier. If you've only joined us for the first time today, you will see me playing with chocolate, being creative and just having a little bit of fun with you all. So let me know if you're watching. Let me know that you can hear me and all the rest of it because, you know, we've got mics, we've got lights, we've got cameras. In fact, we need to turn that light around this way. I just realized that. So you can see a little bit clearer. This is raw, rough, rugged, live, chocolatey, delicious. And if only you could taste some of this chocolate through the screen, I would love to be able to do that and send some of these wonderful aromas your way. On today's show, you should expect a few fun, recipes because I'm going to be experimenting with some Oreo Truffles, which I've not made for a while. So that's not really experimenting. It's just something I haven't done for a little while. So a little bit of recipe inspo for you. I've got some professional molds, but you'll be able to improvise with ice cube trays and other, I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. And I'll be using some of these. I don't know if anybody recognizes these. Let me know in the comments if you know what these are called before I embarrass myself and get it wrong. I think they're called poppets because you pop them. So these are like fidget poppers or poppets, and I'm going to use those as molds. So I'm going to have to make sure that they're all popped in the right way, and I'm going to put some M&Ms in, fill them with chocolate, stick them in the fridge, and hope for the best because it's live and anything could go wrong, but let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it all goes well. Thank you if you joined us last week. It was a bit of a busy one last week because I had to rush off and do a live video for a new app that's come out called Ooh, that's right. Yeah, so Ooh is an entertainment commerce platform, which is kind of like social media, like live video content, but it's you can buy stuff on it. It's like a modern day QVC meets sort of like TikTok with a bit of Amazon thrown in there, and whenever I'm involved, just a bit of, I don't know, it's just Grand Theft Auto, really. When I'm involved, just anything can happen. So, last week I did some presenting for I Saw It First, who do male and female clothing. So I worked with one of the presenters there, Lottie, and it was really good fun to do some presenting outside of the world of chocolate. It is what I love to do. So that was great fun. So download the app, the Ooh app, and you'll be able to watch all the different shows. There's people making cocktails on there. There's fashion, there's technology, and you'll see more of me on there doing things outside of the realm of chocolate, which is just great fun. And whilst I'm on that, I'd just like to tell you, like, the Choc and Roll Show is something that I've been working on for quite a while. It's a big project. I've got a team, a digital team of people that I've got involved, and it's by far the best thing I've done this year, really, because I need that kind of consistent momentum, going live, sharing what I'm doing with you all. I just love presenting. I love being live. I'm passionate about chocolate. So it just ticks all the boxes. And as we go along week by week, we'll be adding new little features, sharing little clips of things that we've been doing. As you've seen in the first episode, Papa Choc came on. I'll be bringing my wife Kim in and different other guests like friends. And if you guys, can think or suggest any guests that you'd like to see on the show making chocolate. We've had Grace on, and Grace's Amazing Machines. That was last week. We did the bee challenge, which was fab. But yeah, it really is a great focus for me. It kind of gives me that deadline. We should be there on a Wednesday. We are every Wednesday at 5:00. So thanks for bearing with us today. It didn't work out yesterday because of other live events that I had going on. But next Wednesday we're back, and it's every Wednesday live at 5. And I'm just really excited about it. So thanks so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments that you're watching. And like I say, I'm going to show you a couple of recipes today, and I've got a few little things to share with you. So just thanks for joining me, because this is definitely a highlight of the week, and I'm just glad that we could make it happen this week. I'm going to be making some Oreo Truffles and some Poppet chocolates. I've got a dinosaur, I've got a unicorn, and I don't know, just a round one. So if you're watching this and the kids have got a Poppet, you probably know this already, but if you didn't know, it does make a great chocolate mold. Well, we're about to find out if that is indeed the case. But yeah, you've not only got a fidget popper there, you've actually got a chocolate mold. So hopefully you'll get some inspiration from that. Those of you that have got families, let us know where you're tuning in from, whether that's like where in the world, like we've had people joining us from different countries. Let us know also which platform you're watching, because we're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe, follow, keep in touch, and through all of those mediums, it's great to share all of this with you. The last video that I posted was the crispy bacon and peanut butter truffles, and it was Harriet from Choc Digital, shout out to Harriet, who put that together. So I've been able to share that this afternoon along with the recipe. So if you fancy having a go at that, check that. That's in my last Instagram post, also in my last LinkedIn, Facebook, and it should be on Twitter. Let me check on that one. But you'll find the recipe, and there's also a vegan alternative where you can use dairy-free chocolate, and instead of crispy bacon, use something like hazelnuts, like chopped hazelnuts, to give you that crunch, and lotus spread instead of the peanut butter. So a little bit of recipe info, maybe something that you could try over the weekend. Let me know. Make sure that you tag me in your pictures and let me know how you get on. Tag me in your pictures, tag me in your videos. Have a little bit of fun with it. That's the great thing about chocolate. As long as you temper it properly, you are off to a flying start. And anything, you know, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, because you can learn from your mistakes. And if you melt it, if you're not happy with it, you can redo it. So just remember that with chocolate, you can turn it solid, liquid, solid as many times as you want. It doesn't deteriorate. So just keep playing, keep making mistakes, keep learning. That's what it's all about. Right. So I'll tell you what, James, we just flick that to the overhead so that I can show everybody what we've got on display here. So we've got the dark chocolate, which is starting to thicken up a little bit here. So I'm going to heat that in the microwave so that it's nice and liquid. And I've got the white chocolate on the go as well. So with the Oreo Truffles, it's going to be white chocolate with a hint of dark. So kind of going for the Oreo colour, if you like. And I've got these little cup molds, literally little chocolate cups. You could always improvise with an ice cube tray. You could always improvise with a little plastic shot cup. I think I've got one of those here from measuring out the alcohol from a virtual corporate event that I did in here last night. So yeah, why not use one of those as the mold? Like fill that with chocolate, empty it out, and you've got, you know, your own little chocolate mold there. Just improvise. That's what it's all about. Right. So cup molds there. Dark chocolate is a good viscosity. It's all liquid, and that's what we want. So nice and shiny. We do have to temper the chocolate, so I've got to get this white chocolate a little bit more melted. That's how it comes to me from Belgium. So I take it solid form like this, melt it, and turn it into different shapes. But as you can see, that needs a little bit more melting. I've got some Oreos that I'm about to smash up, some crushed Oreos. I don't have a rolling pin, but I have got a bottle of rum. So there we go. Double use, I think. Better than a rolling pin. You can a cheeky sip whilst you're making chocolates. So I'm just going to put a few Oreos in this little bag here. Smash those up with my bottle of rum. Did anyone watch Gordon, Gino and Fred? Because when I think of a rolling pin now, I think of that show. And if you watched it, you will know. I won't say because it's not appropriate. It's a family show. Okay, so you've got the Oreos in the bag there. See what, that skull ring could come in handy for this. Ready? Who needs the bottle of rum? Okay, you might want a double bag actually. This bag has burst, but it's all good. So chocolate is melted, white chocolate there. I'm going to give this a really good stir. I'm adding a tiny, tiny bit of dark chocolate so that this will go from white to a really light milk chocolate that almost looks like a grey kind of Oreo colour. But what I'm also going to do is take some Oreo that I've already crushed and simply sprinkle that into there and just crush it up a little bit more as that goes in, because this is going to give it a really good colour as well. Just a tiny bit. It's like powder, Oreo powder, and that will help it to go a little bit grey. It's quite therapeutic as well. So like I said earlier, the chocolate does have to be tempered. If you've seen my videos before, you'll have heard me banging on about tempering every single time, because it's literally the most important thing. If you do not temper the chocolate, it will not set. The chocolate has to be tempered so it shrinks, so it contracts, so it releases from the mold. We don't want it staying stuck in the mold, do we? If anyone's had any experience working with chocolate, you'll know if it's not tempered, the chocolate stays stuck in the mold. And also it has a dull finish, a white speckly finish on the top, and just doesn't look great either. So this is cooling down by the second. A few little tips on tempering, by the way. So if you do decide to make these at home, by the way, make sure that you let me know if you do. Tag me in your pictures. Is just to make sure that you keep an eye on the temperature of the bowl, first of all. That's got to be completely cool. So we're going to take all of the heat out of the chocolate. Keep adding solid pieces back in. Make sure that you've always got at least one chocolate button in the mixture. Because if you've got a chocolate button that is not melting, that means the chocolate is cool enough. So the one button rule, as my wife Kim calls it, it's just important to make sure, because if you've got, it's just peace of mind to know that it's cool enough. You've got one button in there, you've been stirring it for a few minutes, it's not melting, that means the chocolate is cool enough. A couple of other things you can do. One is just splash a little bit of chocolate on your finger and just touch it on your lip. Okay, that's slightly warm. Your lip is your body's most sensitive part for temperature. You've probably heard me say that before, but it is important. I always check it on my lip every single time before I use it. That's slightly warm, so it's got to be cooled down a bit more. Keep stirring it, making sure you've got solid pieces. But look at that, eh? Who likes chocolate then? Right, folks, I'm keeping an eye on the comments, so let us know who's watching. Have a little look down there. Susie, Heather, Lynn, and Mr. Platt from Visual Noise. My man, how's it going? Thank you all for joining us today, this afternoon, the Choc and Roll Show, episode 4. Absolutely loving it. We're going to do a little bit of a Q&A at the end as well. So if anyone has any questions, whether it's about the process, about anything that we've made, just drop it in the comments. And at the end, we'll make sure that we answer your questions. I have been asking Instagram, and so I'll get on Instagram after and just check what those questions were, whether they are appropriate or not. I'm not sure, because there's been some interesting characters that have been asking questions. So we'll roll with it. We'll see what they've asked, and just stay tuned to the end of the show for our Q&A. But feel free to drop any questions in the comments. Like I say, technical, chocolate related, anything about me, perhaps living my life surrounded by chocolate. So this week I've done a couple of schools, and I've been teaching the kids where the chocolate comes from, how it's made, showing them the cocoa pods, the beans, telling them about my trip to Ghana, me and Papa Choc back in 2017. And it's been amazing, because when you go to school, the kids are like, the chocolate man's here. Like, there's so much energy. It's just the best thing ever. So I've come back from Mallorca on Tuesday early hours, and literally straight back in schools and virtual events, and just hit the ground running. And it's been absolutely brilliant. So I think I did a corporate event actually in Lime Park in the boiler room on Tuesday. We landed at 2:00 in the morning, and that was at 11 o'clock. So I was like, this is weird, because the day before I was in the sea in Mallorca, and then, just hours later, I was in Lime Park in the rain, straight back down to earth, back to reality. But it was great. They all loved it. In the corporate event, they all made truffles and lollies. So that was just awesome. So yeah, straight back in the fast lane, and good to be back on the Choc and Roll Show. Any feedback would be welcome. So anything that you would like to see me make, we're making something different every week. I've got a delivery of molds coming tomorrow as well, which I'll share with you on next week's show. What I'll do is I'll pick a mold from the delivery, and I'll use one of those molds next week. It'll be hard to pick a favorite, so it might not just be the one. I might be using multiple molds, but yeah, every single week I'll be making something different. We'll be doing some chocolatey giveaways as well, so get involved with that. Tell you what, guys, what you can do this week, all you need to do is share my video, and you could be in with a chance of winning some Oreo chocolates, the exact ones that I'm going to make right now. I won't do what I did with the caramels when I ate them. So this time, I'm not going to eat them. I'm going to give them away. So these will be boxed and packed and ready to send to whoever shares it. Like, I'm just going to pick somebody at random. So good luck with that. Share the Choc love. You do really have to be patient with this. So my dad always says the art of the chocolatier is patience. And it's so true, because if it's not quite ready, it just won't set. So looking good anyway. It's getting thicker. The viscosity changes. It goes slightly thicker. We want it to be like a custardy texture so that we can see the ripples on the surface of the chocolate. The other thing that you can do as well is literally just splash some. We can probably flick it onto the overhead, I think, now, and just splash a little bit of chocolate there, so that is our little test. Not sure how well you can see that, but literally just splashing it, ideally on the greaseproof paper, but I just splashed it there onto the my tabletop. That should set within a couple of minutes. We'll go on here. My little chocolatier scraper, so something like that. That's my little splash test. That should be solid within a couple of minutes. And if it's not, I need to continue adding solid pieces until it's completely cool. Do you like the little, where is he? The little chocolate man in the corner. There he is. See him? He's up there somewhere. There he is. Ollie the Choc 16-bit. Shout out to Mark Frayne. I'd like to also shout out to Mark and Gemma, because Gemma has had a little boy called Wilder, and this is actually a child. I'm gonna have to click today. So this is a really big announcement, actually, and they haven't announced the birth of their baby, but I'm gonna do it right here on the Choc and Roll Show. I'm sure they won't mind. I'm just kidding. Massive congratulations to Mark and Gemma, really good friends of myself and Kim, and they've had a little baby boy. He's not little, actually. He's a big boy. Wilder. And he's named after, so it's a chocolatey. I think they wanted the name William, but a twist on that. So Wilder, I think it's a really lovely name. And straight away I thought Gene Wilder, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And basically that is the, excuse me, that is the case, because I'm just getting so excited about Gene Wilder. And Mark messaged me and said, yeah, well, all of the milestones when they got, well, things when the baby was when they discovered, they did a gender reveal. They asked me to do a chocolate smash, and they put the gender in the chocolate smash. They put the baby scan inside the chocolate smash, and all of the milestones involve chocolate. And so yeah, he's named Wilder with those things in mind. So I feel like all of the chocolate magic that I've been creating for Mark has built up to the name of his boy. You know, I just love that. So I'll be telling that story for the rest of my life. Love it. So congratulations to Mark and Gemma and the birth of baby Wilder. Can't wait to christen him in chocolate. We're going to have a chocolate-themed christening, Mark, if you're watching. Right. Right, so we can go back on that one. And now that the chocolate is tempered, I'm literally going to flood the molds. It's oh so quiet. I hope he likes chocolate, Wilder. I'm going to make him a great big Wonka bar to welcome him to the world. Right, so there we go. That was the perfect amount. Not a bad guess, that was it. So shake out the excess. Like I said, this is simply white chocolate, tempered. It's got a little bit of crushed Oreo in there, so it's got a little bit of an Oreo colour. Shake out all of the excess to make the perfect shell, and that splash chocolate has already set, so that's a good thing. We don't need to worry about the fact that it's going to set. We know it will, because we have done the test. We have some little cups there. Like I said before, no reason why you couldn't use a little plastic shot cup like this. Just fill that up. These would be great as little desserts, actually. And then this will just slide out of the cup afterwards as well. Right, so that's the cup. And that little tap down, shake out the excess. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Eastwood. Ben and I do a podcast together called Going In Deep. Let us know if you've watched it. We go in deep on subjects, sometimes linked to chocolate, but not so much about the chocolate, but more about the way it makes people feel, the way it makes me feel, the reason why I do it. So if you want to know my why, go and check out the Going in Deep podcast and you will see what it's all about. So Ben, I'm going to read that comment as soon as I can. And hello to Heather. Thank you for joining. Big shout out to Ben, Rach and Jax who is watching. I can't wait till Jax is old enough to really appreciate his little shout out. So can't wait to get Jax over making some chocolate with me up here on Chocolate Street with Mummy and Daddy. These are starting to set, which is good. So now I can scrape off with my chocolatier scraper, just scrape off the excess. You could use the back of a knife for this if you're using a mold. You can pick these molds up from sort of, I was going to say Twitter then, but that's because I was thinking about the banner at the bottom of the screen. So I was obviously distracted. Amazon or eBay, you can pick up some professional molds like this, but you can improvise with ice cube trays as well to give you the shell. There we have it. We've got the cup molds. Right, I'm just going to melt a little bit of this butter now. So I'm going to soften it in the microwave. Hope everyone's okay. Hope you're enjoying watching me making these chocolates. What I'm going to do is, in between, have a little play with the poppets as well, so that you don't get bored, so that I don't get bored as well. Half a block of butter. Stick that in the microwave for a few seconds there. 6 seconds. Sounds about right. Kim and I will be doing a rosé truffle special. Date yet to be announced for that one. We're hoping that we can get that in the coming weeks. Just depends how crazy work is. And truffle making right here on the Choc and Roll Show. Next week, by the way, we are doing edible slime. So that's melted marshmallow and green chocolate. So that's going to be fun. So come and join us for that. You can grab yourself a kit from my website. That's olliethechoc.com. But even without a kit, it'll be good fun. Just needs a little bit more in the microwave. We don't want to soften it too much, and so not too long in the microwave, because we don't want to let the oils come out. If the oils come out, it goes quite greasy. So it's going to be half butter, half chocolate for this one, and lots of crushed Oreo. It's looking good. It's looking good. Give this video a share to win some Oreo Truffles. And do grab a screenshot, as it says on the bottom of the screen. See, we're getting quite savvy with these little banners and stuff, guys, now. Hope you're enjoying that as much as I am. Right, let me just grab another bowl. The soft butter. Just whipping that up by hand, making sure that we don't have any lumps in it, really kind of pressing down on it to get rid of any lumps. Try not to get it all over myself. Decided to wear white today. Gonna like a challenge. Speaking of challenges, we should definitely do a Guinness World Record again, like the one we did back in December with the Seashell Trust. Although it was crazy, because literally December is my busiest month. Not the best time to do a Guinness World Record, but it worked out really well. It was fab. Right, so that's nice and sort of whipped up there now. Beautiful. It's just literally staying on the spatula, but gradually making its way off, which is perfect. I'm going to add now to this thank you, Susie. Susie Davis. Shout out to Susie. That's getting quite thick now. So if you can see, really, really thick. But you know what? That might not be such a bad thing. Let me give it a try. About half and half. This is white chocolate with crushed Oreo and butter. A little drop of cream wouldn't go amiss in here, actually, just to give it even more of a kind of thickness. And I'm already thinking, could I put a drop of rum in there instead? But no, that's not the idea. This is a child-friendly recipe, so I'm not going to be putting rum in there. So a drop of cream would be good, actually, just to thicken it up slightly. But This chocolate is perfect thickness. And my mouth is watering, so it's lethal. This, I can't even eat this really whilst I'm live on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Thanks for joining us, Mandy Harvey. Thanks for joining. How did you get on with your, was it the caramels that you did last? Anyone fancy having a go at the crispy bacon and peanut butter truffles? That is on my last post. A baby shower cake, fantastic. Hope that's gone well. Amazing. All of these creative people join us. That's really thick now. Really, really thick. Beautiful. I'm just so tempted just to stick my chops around that. Okay, so I did bash some of these. Actually, that's good. The fact that it's got a little hole in it means that I can just sprinkle that on like it's pepper. A little bit of black pepper. Just kidding. If you're just joining me, this is crushed Oreo. Chuck that to one side. It's a bit like almost like a cheesecake. You could definitely do that instead, using cream cheese instead of the butter. Half cream cheese, half white chocolate. Let me know, guys, where you're watching: Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube. And I will be checking in with the comments. Caramel needs to be a little runnier. It was like a Rolo texture. So, yeah, I remember you saying, actually, Mandy, and I think my response was adding a little bit of whiskey. But that's not always everyone's prerogative. So I'm going to check on that next time I make them. I haven't made any more since, but I'm wondering whether it would be possible to add just a touch of water. Right, so I'm going to get this in a piping bag and pipe these out into the individual shells. This is just a piping bag that you can buy in the supermarket. You can buy these for cupcake making and similar. Right, so flip that over. Then you can see me just, it's gone a little bit too thick to pour, but that's all right. Look at how good that looks. Let me know if your mouth is watering watching this. I'll definitely be doing a video of this whole process, posting it up on my Instagram reels. Oh yes, the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail. If you don't know what Mandy's talking about, that's my signature chocolate. Available from my website. I'm just going to cut a straight cut off the end there, so I'm just going to grab my scissors. If I had serrated edge scissors, it would make a nice serrated edge on the end of the bag. But I don't, and I do have a nozzle somewhere as well. You can get the nozzle that goes inside to give us a serrated finish. There we go. I'll be right back. Leah, thank you for joining. So these are Oreo truffles. So in the mixture here, and I'll post the recipe. This is white chocolate. So I've made the shells in my cup mold here with tempered white chocolate, a touch of crushed Oreo to give it that kind of color and a little bit of a crunch as well. And the mixture is salted butter, tempered white chocolate, and crushed Oreo. So quite simple. The texture that we are looking for, I'll come a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer, baby. There we go. And then fill those right the way up. The serrated nozzle would be really good for this. But these are going to taste great. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of crushed Oreo on the top for a little bit of a finish. I'm actually going to sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on the top. Hey, surprise, surprise. I've been in touch with them today at Hallen Mon in Anglesey, where they make the world's best sea salt. And we're going to be doing, adding some of that. A little sprinkle of, they literally do these cute, tiny little pots that say, take it with a pinch of salt on the top of the little tins. So in our premium truffle kits that we do for our corporate events, I'm going to be putting in there some little tins of salt so that guests that are joining me on the lives making their own truffles can add a pinch of salt, and not just any salt. This salt is made in Anglesey, and the process is phenomenal. The way they draw the water in from the Menai. I'm actually going to go there. I think I'll go there with my dad on one of our adventures and literally make my Holy Grail by the Menai. Yes, I will definitely post the quantities, Heather. Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for joining and thanks for the question. So yeah, keep an eye on my social channels just for the recipes on this. But just so that you know, roughly half a block of butter, and then about 300 grams of white chocolate. For the center, some crushed Oreo. And I'm now wondering where my sea salt actually is. It's not essential. It will add a bit more of a Moorish taste to it, but it's fine just with the crushed Oreo. You've got to crush this up really fine because the bag will block up otherwise if you're not too careful. But if it does block, then you simply pinch the end of the bag to get things going again. So yeah, great variety this week. Corporate events, schools, live, real life, Choc and Roll show. I'll be recording with Ben next week for the Going in Deep podcast. Really excited about that. Ben is a really good friend of mine and a new era mindset coach. He is cutting edge at what he does. So go and check out B1 because, what the guy does not know about mindset is not worth knowing. So, yeah, very lucky that we love what we do and we do what we love and we love what we do and we do what we love and we love what we do. I'll call in and see us on Chocolate Street Monday. Fantastic. Chocolate Street High Lane. I've got a busy day making some stuff tomorrow. So mostly what I do is events, live, and this sort of thing, the live shows, my live corporate events, some presenting with U. That's my passion. I'm passionate about being me. I'm passionate about people. Passionate, of course, about chocolate. But for me, chocolate is just how I communicate with the world. And I'm very grateful that I get to eat chocolate every day, have fun, meet different people. But yeah, I think as a kid, I wanted to be a presenter. I wanted to be a radio presenter. For some reason, at some point, that felt like it wasn't going to be achievable. And hey, I don't regret anything. I've loved growing up in the family chocolate business. But I'm grateful that I get to do a little bit of presenting. I also wanted to be a primary school teacher as well. And I get to do a little bit of that as well, going in schools, teaching kids where chocolate comes from, all about the cocoa beans. I love the questions that I get off the kids as well. Gives me a lot of inspiration. That's going to go in the freezer right now. Let's get that shot there. Oh, yes. Delicious. Oh, Romy is doing really well. Thank you, Mandy. And if for those of you who don't know, she's a little 4-month-old baby, and she's my daughter, and I'm very proud to say that. So yeah, she's doing good. She's getting chunkier and cheekier by the day, and I just can't wait for her to come in here and get her on one of my lives. But I'm not wishing the time away. I'm loving the fact that she's so small and cuddly. But yeah, I'm just pushing in those Oreo there. So if you do ever go, let's get those. Make sure that they are in properly, otherwise they will fall off. It's like when I do the kids' parties and they sprinkle stuff on the back of the chocolate bar, and I say, by piling it all up really high, doesn't actually mean you get more because it's going to fall off. It's got to be stuck to it. You can indeed watch this back. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on LinkedIn. So thank you for joining, Leah. And if you can't stay, have a nice evening. But yeah, come back and watch it anytime and let me know in the comments what you've enjoyed. I'm on the second mold of the crushed Oreo truffles now. Hopefully some of you will give this a go. I'm really excited to create a reel here in my Choc studio. Working with Matthew Platt from Visual Noise. I've got James here on the camera. We're improving is what I meant to say, the tech every week, getting more and more playful and experimental. And yeah, just loving the weekly improvements, and hopefully you are as well. There's never a show that goes without sort of a little bit of nerves beforehand because the mics aren't working or something. Just it's like everything knows, like the tech just knows that we're about to go live, and I'm like, what's going on? You find when it's pre-recorded, but as soon as we go live, anyway, so that's what goes on behind the scenes, but it's all good fun. And working with Matt and around like-minded people, it's been amazing. Just purely by reaching out through social media and asking for anyone who wants to get involved. That's how James got involved. Same with Harriet, Matt, and a lot of magic has been created, actually. So, if we flick that to the overhead there, James, we can literally... Oh, Susie's going to be giving us a try, so that's awesome. I'm loving the graphics that Matt's done for me there. We're going to get some of those turned into GIFs, like the one that Mr. Frayne made for me in the top corner there. So there we go. Crushed Oreo Truffles. And really loving the fact everybody's tuning in. I'm really grateful for it. I'm going to turn my chocolate machine on, get this milk chocolate to the right temperature now. In fact, whether James, maybe you could flick onto that and we could just zoom in on the chocolate machine, just give everyone a little bit of an insight into this liquid chocolate. You can see Batman behind. We got the Choc and Roll skull, the clapperboard. This place is just literally filled with toys. But yeah, no, I've been getting more confident with the video since kind of working with Matt. Matt's been helping show me tricks and tips. And the video that I made, which is on my Instagram, of the caramels, the reel where you got slow-mo and the sugar pouring, I'm proud to say that I did that myself. So that's good. Already, I'm learning, I'm improving. And by being here with you guys every single week, just forces me to think of content, think of ideas, turn up and action it and be here and hopefully entertain you. So hopefully you're enjoying it. Mr. Gardner, thank you very much. Yeah, 1% every day, 1% every week. Going in Deep podcast crew. Shout out to Liam Gardner. He's the producer of Going in Deep. So shout out to Liam, to Owen as well, and of course to Ben. He's watching from sunny Suffolk, and it is sunny. I know it is. Liam's we've been exchanging voice notes. That's what we do. They're like mini podcasts, these voice notes that we send on WhatsApp, and they do inspire the Going in Deep conversation. Literally, we inspire kind of whole episodes through voice notes, and we practice it through voice notes. We refine it. So I know that Liam's got a really busy week down in sunny Suffolk, and the sun has been out here as well, hasn't it, James? We've been blessed with some nice weather. Really pleased about that. It does make a difference. Although saying that, I've not been outside today. I've been in doing emails and calls and price lists for Christmas, and I've still got a lot more to do. So maybe I should work outside tomorrow if it's like this again. Okay, so milk chocolate is ready for the poppets. Who's ready to see the poppets? Oh my God, I dropped the spatula. I was so excited about poppets. I don't even know if they're called poppets. Am I saying the right thing? Has anyone got children, families that are watching? And what surface to use? I'm just using a wooden surface, but I'm going to be getting a whole new worktop. Probably more like granite I'm going for, to be honest. But I think granite's kind of cool because it literally is cool. It keeps the chocolate cool. Whatever you feel comfortable. This is, I don't know what kind of wood it's actually called. This piece of wood. But yeah, I'll be making the poppets. Let me know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, popper. Are they called poppers? Crazy popper, bubble pop, animals. Right, I'm pleased that those are the right way round. So we'll start with this one. I've got a little packet of M&Ms. This one has got a mixture. It's chocolate, crispy, and peanut. Yeah, you can definitely, Mandy. Is that the Oreo? Yeah, you can use any molds for the Oreo, even ice cube trays. Grab yourself a mold online, Amazon, or wherever you can find them online. But literally, as long as you can make a shell, even by using the cup that I've got there. So, if you flip that to the overhead, James, we're going to literally now start with some of these M&Ms, which is appropriate because I'm a big fan of M&M, the rapper. And just dropping these M&Ms in. I think the peanut are no good. I wouldn't normally work with peanuts, actually. I got these kind of by accident. Susie, thank you. Yeah, give that a try. Let me know. Tag me in your pictures. I'm not saying that I invented this. I've seen this already on TikTok and so on, but it was something that I had to try because the big kid in me wanted to, and because I thought I wanted to share it with my network of like-minded chocolate lovers. I'm just trying to alternate the colours. It's a little bit more interesting. So I can tell which ones the crispy ones are because they're a little bit more odd shaped. little bit odd, a little bit like me, OD, Ollie Dunn. I'm odd. They're my initials. So all of those in place. And shout out to your grandson. I hope he's watching because he'll realise that he can have another use for the poppet dinosaur there. And yeah, you've all got these at home. If you've got children or grandchildren, you've got these, and you didn't realise that it's actually a chocolate mould. And that's great fun, actually. I quite enjoy just popping those there, just to get the mold the right way. So make sure you wash your hands, boys and girls, and just pop those the right way so they're all going in. You can use M&Ms, you can use Smarties. They just fit perfectly. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm loving this dinosaur and unicorn. I saw one that was a massive Spider-Man. I was very tempted to buy it. It was literally about the size of this, of the view that you can see on the camera. I didn't buy it, but I've not stopped thinking about it ever since. So perhaps I should go back to that shop. That was in York. I went to beautiful York. Has anyone been to York? What a beautiful city. Some amazing restaurants. Went to a great Italian restaurant called Manzano. We picked up a takeaway from there and went to the smallest pub in York, which I think was called the Bluebell. But anyway, great city. Went there with my parents. Was that last week or the week before? We spent a couple of nights by the picturesque city walls. Just absolutely amazing. So that was where I saw the Spider-Man. I might be tempted just to grab myself one of those. Loves dinosaurs. Oh, bless him. You should definitely. Oh, that would be really nice if you tried that, wouldn't it, Susie? I'd be really interested to know. It's such a sensory experience, isn't it? And that's what I think is great about chocolate as well, is it really is sensory. Smell, taste, touch. Right. Come on, Ollie. What are we doing? Let's get some milk chocolate on the go. I'm going to grab myself another bowl. You need so many bowls for this. What's going on? If you've got plastic microwavable bowls, that's better. You can use glass, you can use china, but they will retain the heat longer. So it just takes a lot longer to cool down the chocolate. So ideally, plastic microwavable bowls. Let me just check that on my lip. I do feel like that's cool, but just for good measure, drop a couple of chocolate buttons in there and give it a really good stir. Yes, Matt and Alicia, you inspired me. So thank you, Matt. I'm going to be watching. You inspired me with Alicia's chocolates poppets. So I invested in some, and I'm definitely going to make some cool videos, mate. You'll have to come up with Alicia. Maybe we'll do that next Tuesday. Make a little reel from Choc Studios with a visual noise, magical twist. And Alicia, if you're watching, I saw your poppet and they were amazing. So let me just, okay, perfect. That is tempered now. It's got the ripples. I'm going to pour this on. I was going to use a piping bag. Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I will use a piping bag. Hold the top over. Pour that in. And literally cut the end of the bag. You don't want to cut it a hole too big, but you want to cut it enough so it doesn't just dribble out and take forever. So I would say cut 0.5 centimetre going straight across and 0.5 centimetre from the top as well. And then you're literally going to cover these up. You're going to need to give these a little bit of a shake as well. It's better piping them in if you can, because you'll get into all the gaps and the grooves and hopefully won't have any air bubbles by piping it in. So make sure you're generous with it, but don't go too crazy because we don't want it all dripping down the sides. Oh, just dropped ice cube, not an ice cube, but actual ice cube. I made him out of chocolate as well. Have you seen that video on my Instagram, my reel? Any comments that I do miss, I'm going to pick up on after. So do keep giving me the comments. Yeah, just giving it a little bit of a shake like that gets rid of the ripples, and also hopefully means that the chocolate goes in all the grooves and that we get rid of any air bubbles. What you could do, is use some white chocolate now to literally draw the unicorn's face on it. Probably not going to do that right now, but it's an idea. You could literally pipe the unicorn's face or put some more M&Ms on or write your name on it or something. But anyway, that's going in the freezer. Tell you what, I've been busy, haven't I? I've been a busy boy. I think those are done, so that's cool. Right, this unicorn's going. You've got to be so careful that I don't spill it everywhere. Right, going in the fridge. I always call it a fridge because I always think that I might get judged for calling it a freezer, but it is actually a freezer. Yeah. Things are set quicker in the freezer. It's quite kind of like sacrilege to be. This is the dinosaur, by the way. This is the. It's sacrilege, really, to be freezing the chocolate. It's not freezing the chocolate. I'm literally just cooling it quickly. That's how we work. We like to do things quickly. I like to get things done. I've learned from the best, Papa Choc, Mr. Simon Dunn. He's been working with chocolate for 40 years next year. For me, it's 20 years this year. It was actually the week of 9/11 when I started work, so I'll never, ever forget the week that I started working in the business. Very sad week, but one that I won't forget. That's going, our dinosaur is going in the freezer. I'm proud to say it's going in the freezer. Have no shame. It's just going to set quick. We don't have time to wait. We just want to get things done. I'm loving the show. I'm enjoying it tonight. I hope you are as well. Thanks for being patient with me. From rearranging from yesterday. Right, let me push these M&Ms to one side. I'm just going to show you now these Oreo Cups. So I'm just going to empty these out now. Yeah, these are now going slightly frosty on the outside. And therefore, I can tell they are completely set. Mr. Plant, making you hungry. I'll be sending some your way. Everyone remember to sharing the video. Look at that. Beautiful. Easy. Make sure that you're sharing the video for me and spreading the Choc love to be in with a chance of winning some of these Oreo Truffles that are in little cups. How cute are they? So, secret there is tempered chocolate. That's the secret. It really helped the fact that the chocolate had started to thicken before I mix it with the butter. That really helped the texture. But if you don't have the thick texture and you want it to be like a pasty texture as well, if you don't get that, you can add just a drop of cream. When I say a drop, I'm talking half of one of those, just to give it a little bit of a fluffy, aerated texture and really whip it up as well. I'm really tempted to eat one of these, but I don't know if I will. So I've not made those in a while. I actually made those for my engagement party, which was quite a long time ago now, about 8 years ago. My wife Kim loves these. She always says, "Why don't you make the Oreo Truffles?" Thank you very much, Dale Clark. I hope I got that right, Dale. D-A-E-L, Dale. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I'm glad that you've enjoyed it. I'm just going to check on my phone what questions that we had there. So I had some really interesting questions on the Q&A. If anyone does have any questions on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, do let me know. I'd be delighted to answer any questions that we might have. I will be telling you about the Harry Potter themed live, but just to let you know, all you'll need for that is a lollipop making kit. So that is coming, date to be confirmed. It won't be next Wednesday because next Wednesday is going to be edible slime, and that's going to be loads of fun. If you don't know about edible slime, thank you very much, Leah. Thank you, Mandy. It's basically melted marshmallow and green chocolate. So we're doing that next week. The kits are live on my website. That's olliethechoc.com. They are £12.50 each. If you don't get the kit, just get some marshmallow, get some chocolate, we'll wing it. But the kits would give you the exact amounts of what you need, and you'll be using the same as me, and we can make it together. It's a make-along next Wednesday, live at 5 at the Choc and Roll Show. So that's going to be our first interactive session. And we'll be doing a few of those. It won't be every week because we'll have guests on some week. We're going to mix it up. and it won't always be chocolate. We'll be doing some cooking and all sorts. No, I didn't actually have that. It's still in there. So simply to remove that is going to be that I've left that actually, but the same thing, literally just giving it a good old tap. So you'll see that it goes slightly frosted. If we flick it to the overhead, actually, James, can maybe just show how there. I don't know how well you can see it, but you'll get, oh yeah, okay. On that angle there, you can see around the bottom, it's gone frosted because the chocolate set's come away. It hasn't come away around the top, and that's because it hasn't cooled quite enough. So when you've got that frosted effect that you've got around the bottom, that means that the chocolate has contracted and released. And that means that you would literally just be able to tip that out. When you've got the weight of the Oreo filling in there as well, it will just fall out. You could always leave them in the fridge overnight as well, just to be on the safe side. And literally all I would do is probably just delicately give them a little tap. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. We're doing some rosé truffle making, me and my wife, Kim. But that date will be to be confirmed, TBC. I'm just going to see what questions that we've got in the Instagram Q&A. If anyone does have any questions, let me know. And turn the old chocolate machine off. Does that sound better without the chocolate machine off? Can you notice it? Can you tell? Can you tell when it's off? Right. I'm tempted to eat one of these. Imagine having all these chocolates just right there in front of you. It's so difficult. Even James is tempted. I can tell, and he's not even as close as me. Right. So with the Q&A, let's see. Margaret has asked, how long do the homemade truffles last? And that will be referring to the truffles that I make and the recipes that we do in the kits, I assume, on the website. And the answer would be, I'd say at least 2 months. They just need to be kept in a cool, dry place. Particularly the truffles that are completely round, as they're completely sealed. Okay, what is my favorite chocolate bar? That is Jal Higgins. Hopefully you're watching. Jal Higgins 100 on Insta. It's a toffee crisp. I love a crunchy texture from the toffee crisp, so I love making crispy cakes, and as you can see, anything with a bit of texture and crunch and also saltiness as well. But that's, you can see why I've gone down this road with the crushed Oreo toppings. Yeah, I don't see why not, Mandy. I'd just say just a tiny drop of alcohol in the recipe, maybe half a shot. Like I say, a tiny bit would help just to give it a little bit more of a texture and a fluffiness to it. So cream, or indeed a little splash of whiskey or brandy. Toffee crisp, my favorite. I noticed that Krispy Kreme did a toffee crisp flavored donut actually when I was in York, and we didn't get to grab one. So if anyone fancies sending me a toffee crisp Krispy Kreme, you know where to send it. Free post, the Choc Studio, High Lane, Stockport. What's next for the Choc, Mr. Platts? Good question. I've seen mention the exciting projects I've got going on with I'll be presenting different brands. Last one was I Saw It First. I might be doing some work with some sports brands, some tech brands. They're building a massive, I'm tempted to say 200,000 square foot. It's like a video mall. So it's like imagine a shopping mall, but in all the shops you've got different suites, different studios. You might have a chocolate studio or a kitchen in one. You might have like one that's for technology, fashion. They did one that was like a giant shoebox, like JD Sports did one as a giant shoebox. They'll do videos in there for TikTok. So I'm really excited to do more with them. And obviously just keep doing the Choc and Roll Show and keep bringing you guys some value, some recipes. Hopefully you will have a go at this, or some of you will. And that's just what it's all about for me. So just keep doing what I love. And what weirdly pairs well with chocolate? Harriet, good question. Crispy bacon. You know that from the last video that Harriet actually produced there, the reel. So crispy bacon and milk chocolate weirdly pairs well because it's crunchy, like the Oreo. It's salty. So give that a try. Get yourself some really crispy bacon. Just dip it in chocolate, or have a go at the recipe that you've seen on my last video. The competition, don't forget about the sharing the video. Just give it a share, and I'm going to check who's been sharing it and make sure that I give away some of these Oreo truffles. So good luck with that. How much wood does a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Georgie Wilkes. Georgie, how did I do? Did I do all right? I'm not sure what the answer is, but I don't think there is an answer to that. I just think she wanted to see if I could say it. I think I said it. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Can you do it at home? Did I do it? I think I did it. What's the best chocolate that I've ever tasted? Oh, you know what? I don't know what the best chocolate. I went to this place in York where they make their own chocolates. Do you just blister biscuit? I literally got the biscuit in a bag and battered it like with my hand. But then I've also got a bottle of rum, which you could use as a rolling pin, like that. Get it in a bag, double up. Don't make my mistake. Double up, and you'll be all right. Just literally, you could blitz it in a blender though. Definitely, that would work as well. Thank you, Sarah Jane. Much appreciated, Sarah Jane Platt. How are we, Mrs. Platt? I hope you're well. Are you coming on the show? I believe you're going to be a guest on the show soon. We'll sort that out. Let me know what you want to make, and we'll get you on. I've not emptied out the poppets yet, so stay tuned for that, guys, if you can. But yeah, thank you so much, Sarah, for joining. The best chocolate I've ever tasted, Matt, was the chocolate I had in York was fantastic, particularly the white chocolate. It was so smooth. They make it all there in the York Cocoa House. Has anyone been there? Recommend it. They do a little bit of a tour around, show you how the chocolate's made, and they roast their own beans. They get the beans in from Venezuela, and it's fantastic. Really interesting to see. What I found interesting is they roast the beans at a certain temperature. They don't roast the beans at too high a temperature. Otherwise, they lose flavor and it gets more bitterness. So the higher the temperature they roast the beans, the more bitter and the flavor they lose. So they're really conscious about the temperature they roast at, which, yeah, was kind of interesting for me. Okay, that's an interesting question. And yeah, in answer to your question, yeah, that would be up there for sure. I love the Tony's chocolate, actually. I love Lindt. I love green and blacks. But got to be Simon Dunn chocolatier, hasn't it? Stockport when it comes to the best chocolate. Good old Papa Choc. But no, you know what the best chocolatey thing I ever tasted was? A pint of beer in Copenhagen. It was like liquid chocolate. So on one of these shows, I keep talking about we'll do a beer tasting. We'll get all the different beers lined up. Not for the kids, but we'll just have some fun, family fun. And I'll just taste some different beers. Maybe I'll get Papa Choc on there because he worked with Robinson's Brewery on a chocolate beer. And if I could get hold of that one from Copenhagen, honestly, it was like liquid chocolate. How do I unwind at the end of the day? Ollie Dog Walker, who follows on Insta. So thank you, buddy, for that. We always appreciate the comments and the interaction. Usually by going home and having a glass of wine. So that's what I like to do. And I don't always do that because I often go home and just relax. And nowadays, just to go home and see my baby girl, to see Romy, have cuddles, and maybe go for a little walk. If the weather's good, we've got some little woods around where we live. Just be present. Enjoy the moment. I've also got a one wheel, which I mentioned last week. So I'll go out on that late at night when it's quiet. And I'll be like Marty off Back to the Future, just kind of hoverboarding around. And that's me. Yeah, never. 2 days are not the same. Don't really have much of a routine. Last night I got home late. Tonight I'll be home nice and early, so I will be unwinding. But guys, I think that brings us nicely to the poppets, which I'm going to grab out now. Don't go anywhere. Let's see. Are they going to work? Are they going to break? Are we going to have an epic fail, or are we going to finish on an all-time high? So I'm just going to clear some room here. Are you ready? Right. So we're going to flip these over onto the. Oh goodness me! This could be really, really embarrassing, but no, it looks good. It looks good. Let's flip that, James. Let's flip it. Yeah, look at this arc. I'm literally peeling back. I've got to be really careful. So you see where the chocolate hangs over here? I've got to be careful with that because that could be an epic fail. Little tip for you if you're doing this, just get rid of that. I need I've got one somewhere, like a rubber scraper. The back of a knife would be fine just to get rid of these bits that go over the edge. Big shout out to Ruben as well, Ruben Platt, whose birthday is on Saturday. And I think he knows because he mentioned on the phone, but I am going to be making him a chocolate basketball, or at least something chocolatey and basketball related. I'm into the basketball myself. When me and Kim go to the States, we always go and watch a game, watch the Brooklyn Nets play, we watch the Orlando Magic play, the LA Lakers. Yeah, so I've got to be really careful just peeling this back. Oh, no, we lost a leg already. Oh, we lost 2 legs. I was going to say, what do you call a one-legged dinosaur? I don't know the answer. You just tell me. I'm pretty sure one of you will have a bad answer for that. So we want worse, wrong answers only. Oh, no, this is horrendous. But does it matter? Does it actually matter? Because you can have fun whilst doing it. So is this me proving that these things don't work, that this is not possible, that this TikTok phenomenon is actually a myth and fake. It's a fake, you know, that conspiracy theory. We've got the body of a dinosaur, just doesn't have legs. Hey, not looking bad. Hey, I'll tell you what, not bad for a first go. Although I can't really play that card because I have been working with chocolate for 20 years. I'm going to stick those legs on with a little bit of chocolate glue. So just a little bit of chocolate there on the dinosaur's leg. Stick that together. I'm not sure which way round they go, if that was even right, but okay. It makes little bites. Oh, Matt, can we not somehow share that amazing thing that made me laugh? That's got to be the dad joke of the week. The chocolate bar, which the chocolate bar, the angry-looking chocolate bar. Sorry, you can tell I'm concentrating, can't you? Getting rid of these bits from around the edge. You've got to get rid of those bits. I would use a rubber spatula for that. Yeah, an angry chocolate bar. That's what you call bad-tempered. Okay, carefully peeling back the unicorn. Let's just hope for the best with this one. Guys, if you have a go, let me know. If you have a go, let me know. It's the Choc and Roll Show. So tag me in your pictures. Tag me in your chocolate poppets. Your little poppets. Bless you. Have a go. Don't be scared. Let's make some videos. Let's make some cool content. Let's get tagging me in. I'm on TikTok as well. Y'all better know that. Right, peeling this back very, very carefully. Being very patient. Very, very patient. Thank you all for joining the Choc and Roll Show. We are very, very nearly done. I just got to reveal this. We can't not reveal the technique of peeling back the kind of rubber plastic mold gently. Hey, I like it. There we go. Alicia, there's your birthday present as well. Or your Christmas present. What do we think? What do we think? Can we get a round of applause? Do we get a round of applause from the studio audience? Does anyone want to be in the studio audience? Who wants to be in the studio audience? Let us know. Come and join us next week. Come and join us in the studio. Why not? And you can have some chocolate samples. Send me a message and give me some. That's it. Mandy Harvey in the comments. You got some clapping hands emojis. Let me know, guys. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are. Looks like most of you are on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. Loving it. Loving the energy. Loving the enthusiasm. Thank you all so much for joining us. James and I are going to eat these now. No, I'm just kidding. We'll give these away to whoever shares this video. We'll keep an eye out on who's sharing, and we're going to make a note. I'm going to drop you a comment back on LinkedIn, on Facebook, wherever you are. Guys, thank you so much. It's been emotional, hasn't it? Got one more thing to say, and you can do this with me at home. And that is peace, love, Choc and Roll. Until next time, next Wednesday at 5. See you then.